Wrapping things up in the Sunset League on Friday night, down in Division 6, the Sailors, despite finishing 3-7 on the year, they draw the 3 seed overall in D6. They take on the Wing T team out of Fullerton, the Sunny Hills Lancers, and Newport Harbor victorious at home at Davidson Field, 38-28. This is an interesting game storyline-wise, Howard, because we have a team that finished 4th in the Sunset League against a team that finished 2nd in the Freeway League, and we saw the strength of the Sunset League on display. Now we're looking at the Sailors as a team that could make some noise, make a little run here in the D6 finals. We talked to head coach Peter Lofthouse, and he said the vibes are high in the Sailors locker room.
I think there's a lot of momentum right now in that locker room. You know, the kids are bouncing around. They're excited. They're ready for the next round. And, you know, you just continue to build, and hopefully we can keep this confidence going.
Well, there was certainly a lot of reason to be fired up on Friday night in the Sailors locker room. And even though they are fired up, Coach Lofthouse was very, very careful, made sure he did not get ahead of himself, said all we're focused on right now is Santa Barbara and getting better for the quarterfinals. But you know us, Alex, in the broadcast booth, we were talking about this might be a CIF title contender in Division 6 because the Sailors looked dominant, not just, you know, the end of the game or not just because they were up 21 points, but what we saw with our eyes was the Sailors looked big, they looked strong, they looked athletic. And that translated to their offense being very comfortable. This O-line was pushing guys around, making all kind of holes for the running backs, giving A.J. Gutron more plenty of time to throw. And then the receivers, they were just straight up outrunning guys.
Yeah, looking at the receivers, Cashin Henjum had 2 touchdowns, 7 catches on the night. And Josiah Lamarque, he opened the game with an electric kickoff return on the first play of the game. And then he had another big touchdown. Here's our call from the TAR TV broadcast of Josiah Lamarque's 50-yard touchdown in the second quarter.
Sophomore Henry Slater checking into the game at running back. He swings out of the backfield. The pass goes to Lamarque, picking his way over the middle. Josiah Lamarque's got space. Whole lot of grass in front of him. And the sophomore in the end zone for the second time tonight. Sailors up big. Boogie Down Productions in the house.
But you know, Alex, we've been higher on the Sailors receivers than anybody around because we know what they're capable of. So it was great to see Josiah break free like that because he's a guy that is so shifty, can burn the whole team with his legs, and that was on full display here in the playoffs, not just with the receiving stuff, but also the kickoff return. So I know that's going to do a ton for his confidence and for Coach Lofthouse's urgency to get Josiah a little bit more action, a little bit more, a few more catches in the middle of the field where he can do the cutbacks and get behind his blockers and stuff like that. So Josiah looked absolutely excellent. Cash, he was so dominant, especially early on. I think he had 4 or 5 first quarter catches, and those are the kind of offensive performances that we want to see. Feed these guys the ball and let them cook.
Yeah, and what impressed me about Newport in this game was that they got punched in the mouth, and for the first time this season, they actually punched back harder. We saw them blow leads throughout the year. We saw them collapse in the third quarter, fourth quarter throughout the year, and when Sunny Hills came back and tied the game 28-28 late in the third, Newport, they not only held on, they shut down Sunny Hills, and they won by 10. So that's what impressed me. Finally, 11 games into the season, the promise of the Sailors team in all 3 phases was realized on Friday night.
Well, and I think it took a full 10-game season for the Sailors to finally be capable of holding on, staying resilient, staying confident, and not letting the negative plays and not letting it lead to an implosion. This was just a good, poised victory, and it seems like, you know, the ups and downs from Capo Valley, from Trabuco Hills, from the tough Sunset League schedule, it seems like it all came together. And Newport Harbor, they were just confident in themselves, and they knew they were good enough to stick around and win the game.
Well, senior quarterback A.J. Gutron Moore, who started the year as the third stringer, by the way, he will lead the Sailors on the road up to the 805, taking on the Santa Barbara High School Dons on Friday night in the D6 quarterfinals. Should be a fun one there. We'll preview that.